a wounded child. Because now, pills for children. You know that they're lethal. Let's get the context of this.
Well, pitter patter, let's get at her. Here we go with her shouting out her shit. As as always, welcome to the Joe the Bull Guy and the Bullpen. We have Lured by Attraction here today for the second installment of the podcast. The rise and the story of OnlyFans. So we already talked about the beginning of we talked about the beginning of sorry
OnlyFans? I don't know.
you threw me off with the shouting clapper right off the bat like that to me. So back to what I was trying to mental reset here. You last time we were talking about like what you currently are doing, how much you make, like what your end goal is for this. Now let's kick it back to the beginning and like let's try to figure out, or at least shed some light on what brought you to this. Like at
Yeah.
what point did you say, you know what, I'm gonna multi-stream, I'm gonna be an adult, an adult actress, and well, that's what you are,
Content creator.
content creator, actress. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, content creator. Fine, we'll
Streamer.
go with streamer, adult streamer. Well, because like I stream and you stream.
Photography.
Yeah, no,
Modeling.
I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying like you made that jump. So what? Because I know you outside of this, right? Like I know you before this. I know you during this. I know you still now. You know
You
what I mean?
started, yeah, from the beginning, yeah.
Right. I was there when you and I first both were on TikTok. So what made that jump? And maybe some of the people might be interested to hear of like why you said, you know what, I'm going down this route. And I'm not looking back, and you haven't looked back since. So I mean, there's no regrets. So you're looking a little flushed there. You okay?
I know. I need to breathe a little bit. I'm good. No, so I used to be over 200 pounds at one point. I was in toxic relationship. I feel like I was at that point where like enough was enough as far as like bad habits go. And I think I put some aside and just don't want to say they're bad habits, but I added, just
an outlet. You added an outlet
yes,
for some of
absolutely.
those things. So instead of
Yeah.
grabbing a bag of chips, you grabbed the little rabbit that. Okay, fair.
Yeah. So and I've never been one to be in trouble or anything, and I felt like that point was where I was like going out a lot and drinking, and again like first time ever getting like handcuffed and put in jail overnight. Like that really was like my turning point. And I think for me, it was like, I'm going to stay home and do those, fun things that I still like to do out in like public settings, I guess. But it was, I don't know. I felt like I was like, what is it called? You're just like
lashing out.
Well, just like anytime I had free time, I would go on a date. And it was like, it wasn't ever like, it was like 9 times out of 10, I get screwed on something. It was just like, I'm not gonna fucking waste
like
my
we
time.
talking like, or are you talking about like screwed in other ways?
From every aspect. I mean, I literally had somebody hit on somebody else at the bar while meeting me, and just like I had somebody leave me at a restaurant, have me pay because I was on drugs or something. I don't really know. I just like there's been all kinds of scenarios. So yeah, I more or less just said fuck all that, and then I started getting my confidence back once I lost 60 pounds during COVID of all times, and really just like took advantage of being isolated and worked on myself. But it was just at that point where I was like, it's all about me, and so I really was just there to prove it to myself, and I could do it.
So then, okay. So what I'm kind of looking at this as is that you're getting beaten down in your life, and you took this as an opportunity to regain control of your life,
right,
by the way you wanted to. I mean,
yeah. And it's an easy source of income at some points. I feel like it was again, one of those things that I'm like, I love doing social media, I love doing the content creating as far as videos and, promotional flyers. And I mean, I can do all that. I can do, you know,
You keep
do that and
fidgeting. Are
everything
you
else.
cross streaming right now?
Of course.
Is this that?
Hey, hi, hello. Sorry, I'm not even responding to this.
Okay. Well, so wait a second. So is it interactive? Like, I don't mean like the chat. Obviously, I understand
Yeah.
what.
Yeah. So, like I said, there's dice roll involved whenever you're playing on Clapper.
Let's see the.
I
Let's see
play.
this. Okay, hold on. I got to see these dice. What? Roll these dice.
Well,
Let's see.
no one's looking at me. No one's even rolling the dice.
Well, let's. Yo, hi,
Sorry.
Brett. Jesus, you have the attention span of a goldfish, apparently. No, but it's okay. I'm gonna call you Dory.
I'm
Um,
high functioning ADHD and neurodivergent amnivert.
you are okay. I understood ADHD because that's what I have, and I'm a high functioning, I guess, because I'm not bouncing around. But anyway, let's
That's
see
my
these
elbow.
dice. You said there's dice.
Yeah, dice rolls. So these are physical dice, and I will write, my dares on that. But
Okay,
usually it's just like a 1 through 6, and then you have your own little dice menu and shit. But when they ain't
gotcha,
playing, I don't really.
gotcha. Okay,
Sorry,
fair.
I'm
So
talking trash. I'm just trying to.
no, but that's okay. That's okay. So then, I mean, you if you're cross streaming, you got to cross stream. Um, so then with this, so I guess basically the next question I have with that is that you said that that night that you got thrown in handcuffs was like the night that kind of opened your eyes, right? Like that kind
Yeah,
of made you
yeah,
say
that was.
like, I got to do something more
Life
than
is
just go
bullshit.
out, right? And so the handcuffs obviously had a dual meaning for you though, because you kind of went to this stuff. But what else like so it just that was it? You got thrown in a night in
Dice roll.
jail and you
Got a
said, fuck
6.
this, you
Yeah, I
know.
mean, my thing, it was unjustifiable. Like, there was no way that I could be in control of that night that I had fucking I was put into jail because I was irate, and it's like, no, I got drugged in the bar. Literally, an undercover cop said I fell asleep.
I was just about to ask you what happened that night.
I had walked. I mean, I had gotten, I, I had gotten stood up 3 times that night, and like just in desperate need of getting out. And I ended up going and meeting my guy friends at a bar, which they've already been at the bar all night, and they were all drunk and walked off without me. And I was about to walk home or walk to my car and go home, but I had just stopped at the closest bar, and a lady literally just escorted me through the bar to like this group of guys. And then there was a point where they were like arguing who's going to take me home, and I'm like, no one's fucking taking me home. And I remember trying to grab my keys. I didn't have my phone. They had my phone. They tried to call and took pictures on it and everything. They couldn't find my phone. So that was a whole thing. Like, I walked out without my phone. They had my phone. They were walking with me. They totally turned right on me whenever a undercover cop was following me out the door saying, "Ma'am, you can't be driving right now," or whatever. And I was like, I'm getting out of a situation is more or less what I was saying. I'm like, I I was a little smart ass. I did.
You know,
Well,
really
my
in
whole
the
thing was
amount of
he had my physical key, I had my fob, so I ended up going and sitting in my car. I didn't start my car or anything, but I was just like, the guy inside. There's a guy inside. He literally was like talking to another woman before I even like got off the curb, and I'm like, they're literally like not even letting me talk, and they're high-fiving girls down the sidewalk, and like I'm literally telling them to go talk to that guy at the bar right now, and they wouldn't do it. And even, sorry, I'm getting hot and flustered because I got like all of their body cam stuff, and it wasn't until like the day before court, so I was like, see how nervous and anxious I am about it, just talking about it. But it was just at that point where I was like, something is wrong. And so like the manager literally was like, she walked in, not even 5 minutes later, she walked out a different person. And I'm like, that was exactly why. Like literally, I had no control of what had happened. And I don't even remember falling asleep at the bar. Like, I remember having that conversation, and then I remember trying to walk out.
I
And
wonder.
there,
And they didn't do a toxicology and see if you had any kind of like rehypnol or something like that in
they
there.
didn't do anything. No. So what had happened was I more or less got detained, and there was a fucking cop there hitting on me. But he more or less was like, just be glad that you got taken into jail, because they could have literally like taken you to Mexico, And I'm just like, what the fuck? There's
Whoa, wait. So the cop
like
is
sex
telling you that
slaves.
they could have told you, well, trafficking is
Yeah.
what it's called,
Whatever,
but
trafficking, sorry.
no, we're good. We'll leave it at that. We'll just say traffic. Um, but wait a second. So the cop literally told you that be glad that they didn't just go do this, but they didn't go after them. They went after you instead.
Right, right. Yeah, and I was up all night staring out the glass window saying, "Please let me go because I am not drunk." Like, I literally sobered up as soon as I got,
I'm not
into that
gonna
place. But
I'm not gonna lie. I just have this vision of you in like your little
the guy's
skirt, your
like, "You don't
little
belong here."
they're like you don't belong here, and you're just sitting there
Mm-mm.
with your tin cup going, all by myself,
No,
like
I had all
laying
kinds
across
of
the couch.
crazy fucking women in that jail cell.
Oh,
Like
I
one
don't
part,
doubt it.
and that was where I was like, literally, this person who just fucking ran into a curb and this and that, I'm just like, I get it, but he saw me and literally was like wanting my number and shit and walking me out the door the next morning. And I'm like, I have no bra on. I had to take my eyelashes off. I had to take everything off. I'm like walking out barefoot with all my stuff, walking downtown back to my car, like miles away,
Hmm.
to then go back to the bar when it opened to try to find my phone because they couldn't find my phone.
And you found it?
Yeah, I found it the next day.
Okay. So then from there, from
Yeah,
this
sorry. That
incident,
was yeah, that was a
no, 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 no,
the
no. I
worst
mean,
day of my fucking life.
it gives insight to, well, okay, so at this point you're looking at like things have to change. You're not going out to these like to get let down by
Yeah, spent all my
men, right?
money and
So then at what point, because I remember like the starting days of TikTok with you, right? Like when we got on, it was like TikTok was this new app, it was a
yeah.
way of meeting people. I mean, we would sit there and you would jam out and do shots
Oh
to
yeah. I'm
songs and
having
stuff.
fun in my garage all day.
And I remember we would end up you would get banned because you just get a
All the
little
time.
too, yeah, but it wasn't like when you really did something that you shouldn't have done. I mean,
There was sometimes possibly.
I told you when like if we were live together, like, hey, look, whipping your booby out on this, you can't do that on TikTok.
Yeah.
You know
The
what I mean?
first the first day Barbara said she met me, we were battling, and I literally dropped my phone and she saw my coochie.
Hmm. Oh, you know what? I don't, there was a couple of days where you were
I think
jamming
that's
out in the
rude.
garage. We're sitting there listening to music. I'm like, oh, listen to this one. And we would play Whisper, and Whisper would come on, and you would start going ham and start doing shots of a fireball. And then
Fireball!
next thing I know, like
Fireball! Let's go, fireball.
you would get a little too into a
Yes.
dance move, and it would kind of like
Oh,
right
yeah.
to the side and shit, and and then you're like, boop, gone, and but so,
So,
but
yeah,
that's
clapper.
well, but again, but you didn't start Clapper first.
No, no,
You
that's where I was
started
like, this is the place for me.
was where you ended up, but you began with OnlyFans.
After like 5 TikToks getting banned, and I literally have another one that I said that I have access back, but I can't access it.
Well, that's probably because of the band still. But so okay,
Yeah.
so you start OnlyFans, then you start
No, they
Clapper.
said they restored it.
No, no, I understand. I
Okay.
understand.
Okay.
But we're talking about Clapper and OnlyFans. I got you. We'll
Yes,
talk
yes.
about your TikTok. We'll figure out how to get you back into it. I'll help you out with that. But for the show purposes, um, so you started with OnlyFans, and it obviously wasn't like jump right off the bat making killing, right? So like what made you come up with like an idea of where a hard limit was? Like, I'll do this, this, and this, but I won't do that, as Meatloaf says. Like what he said, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. You've never heard that song by
Mm.
Meatloaf?
No, I mean
Wow.
I might have heard it, but you're kind of swinging left here. I'm like, where are we getting at here?
What do you mean?
Where's
Okay,
my limits?
when you started
Why one limit?
OnlyFans, did you automatically say, you know what, I'm gonna do this full nude, I'm gonna go full bore
No,
like you're
no,
doing now? Right. So what was the progression? What it was
no.
so like
Yeah,
when you
it's
started it, you said like, oh, I won't do gross things with feet, right? Like
no,
let's say
no. My thing is, ask me anything and I'll probably help you somehow. But my thing is like I had tons of content to begin with on my phone. I might as well share it. And then when I started figuring out the whole live thing and I was trying to do it on OnlyFans, but OnlyFans is so old school, like it always dropped. I never had service. It's hard to navigate through that
okay.
website. But yeah, whenever like I first started, it's just you OnlyFans is to put that content up there, whatever it is. People may buy it, people may not buy it, but there's certain ones that went, thousands of dollars versus not even being viewed at all. But I don't know. I feel like it just comes in waves. So OnlyFans was there for kind of like that base of content to go,
Okay.
find the things that I could at least post there. And then other areas I had shorter content, but at least I didn't have to like go through the whole verification process with everybody that's in the video. I think I mentioned that last time, but
Yeah,
for
you
me,
did.
it's
You
just like
talked
the
about.
convenience of one versus the other. You can store more on OnlyFans, and then everything else is kind of a quick
Okay,
turnaround
so
type of
you're
thing.
using it more like your data server where you have your content
Yeah,
protected and people buy it, they buy it, but it's more your live streaming
yeah,
on like the
yeah.
other two platforms that were listed.
Well,
Um,
then I'm not consistent. Like I don't check OnlyFans every day to check like my messages to be like, okay, somebody's wanting something. So that's more just like, hey, go and see what I got.
right, but this is more like what you're currently doing, like, in today, which is next week's episode. So, like, for
Hmm.
this one, like, when you were starting out, was it like a particular video that made you gain a bunch of followers, or was it that you were cross promoting from one social media platform to the other? Like, hey, I'm on TikTok, but I'm going to be on OF later. You should really follow me on here. The link is in my bio. We all hear those, like, oh,
Yeah.
I have a spicy link. It's in my bio. Go check my bio.
No,
Yes, I have
I
one.
I built OnlyFans through OnlyFans. I feel like because there was a lot of ways to share and do contest and like just when you're a free account. I mean, you literally just throw your shit everywhere. And for me, it was like okay, I had Instagram too. That's another one that I have a lot of following on, and it's easy to share those links too. But you can't go on live because my music and shit and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like OnlyFans. That's where I gained most of my followers was at the beginning, and then once I went into the Clapper and TikTok, I feel like that more cross pollinated. But I feel like there just really hasn't been a lot of traction on OnlyFans lately, and I don't know.
Well, I
It's
think
just
it's
a different
getting.
shift.
I think, well, and that's with all social media. I mean, look at TikTok right now. I mean, people
Yeah.
ran to Red Note, right, which was a communist-owned app in China, right? And it's
The mixed
literally
thing.
right. Like, oh, so we took some control from the U.S. and threw it all to China. They went to like favorited that couldn't handle a lot of the bandwidth of everybody migrating over in one night. A
That
lot
was
of
Clapper
people,
too. They were kicking people out of it.
yeah, because
Like
everybody
new
was.
people.
I mean, if you think about it, 170 million Americans lost access to that app and had to go other places, which again, even though OnlyFans, the traffic isn't there with
Yeah.
the ban on TikTok, it should have drove up the traffic with Clapper and the other apps as well. So, I
Yeah.
mean, and again, that's for next week, but and we'll ask you about how that's influenced your following and stuff then.
Oh, yeah.
But for
TikTok,
now,
but TikTok really was a big start of it. I mean, I want to say at least the like streaming side and the going live part and interacting because that's really where I feel like people have gravitated to me. It wasn't, my great content. It's my live streams. It's what I
well,
do on my live streams and how much more. entertaining it is, or I don't know, long.
Well, I mean, you're an attractive person. You're dancing around on the camera. You were having a good time. It was somebody like if I was at work and I couldn't be at a party and I wanted to be at a party at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there's lured by attraction. You know what I mean? I can go
Can't
hang
even
out with
stand
her
up
and
anymore on TikTok.
well, yeah. I mean, the pool parties, the bathing
I
suits,
could do so
all
much back in the day. I feel like here now,
look,
I can't even do that on anything else. Like Clapper's even bad about
trust
that.
me, I get it. Like I barely make a joke on TikTok and I'm screwed. So,
Yeah.
um, but so then, okay, so you start OnlyFans, you grow that following there, you have TikTok, and then you get Clapper. So how did you end up cross promoting all three of them? Was there like a method? Did you say, I'm gonna go live on this, and then live on that, and then live on this, or you just kind
Yeah.
of
Well, I felt like with Clapper, that's when well, I guess OnlyFans was my lured by attraction. OnlyFans was lured by attraction only. TikTok was Texas Fun Blonde. So I tried to keep those separated at that point just because I was scared about the cross pollinating and people like finding out what I do like in my professional world.
yeah,
But for me it was just like I don't know, with Texas Fun Blonde and lured by attraction, TikTok brought people over, but it was hard to promote it unless like I started figuring out you have to go through the loophole of Instagram. So Instagram, you can use all your links. So I just tell them to go to Instagram, no problem.
right,
Same,
because you could say,
username. And then my links are in my story and I'll just continue to share my stories out. And for me, it was like once they got to Clapper, they're like, fucking A, where have I been all this time? Or they'll just they'll find me through the FYP from TikTok. It's just weird how things kind of overlap.
well,
But
it's an algorithm that will pick it up. So, I mean, if they're looking at similar content, and then like
yeah,
I know that
people in
TikTok keeps
Texas.
trying to pull people right. Well, I know TikTok tries to pull my contacts from my phone all the time and say,
Oh
"Hey,
yeah,
this is,"
no, don't.
and I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that. No, I'm not giving
hmm
them access to that."
Yeah,
But then I know that I
that's why I
generate
start
in
changing
other
my
people.
username or my profile picture because I'm like I don't want them to recognize even my face.
Right. No, I feel you. Um, well, and then I mean some of the other things too that are unique with what you're doing. Um, is how you have cross-pollinated everything so that no matter what, they can find you. Like Joe the Bull Guy, you Google me and you can find every
Yeah,
platform I'm on,
yeah,
right? But like 6 months ago, you couldn't do that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But it's interesting how you can build that traffic and build that platform up with that.
yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure Texas Fun Blondes, going out the side door while lured by attractions,
listen, I still have a Texas Fun Blonde sticker somewhere. I gotta find
I
it.
have tons of them. I need to
I need
start
some.
doing
I
that
need
again.
some more so I could put them on my but you know what? That's what you're gonna do. I'll send you my address again and you send me some stickers and I'll put them on my wall of stickers. Because
Okay.
I have a dartboard that
I
I
need to
got
make a
from
new
TikTok.
one.
Well, give me one of the old ones and a new one too.
Yeah.
That way I have the past and the present. Because any kind of, podcast or a company that endorses or, asks me to, influence for them, I put them up on the board if they're worthy. Like this one, Joe, look, I'm gonna break into this. Shameless plug. This shit,
What is
okay,
it?
it's called Aimbot.
What is
It's
it, Joe?
oh well, let me look at it, Vanna. What? No, but actually, I tried it this morning. It's a 0 calorie, zero sugar, zero crash
Ooh.
energy that you just mix in with water. Listen, for somebody who drinks 5 Red Bulls a day, this is
Yeah, no.
this is
Anything.
diabetes or whatever this is. So I tried the first one today.
I'll
The
take
flavor
two.
wasn't bad. Listen, they send it for free. I might start buying this on a daily basis. The only weird part is it comes in these little like test tube looking things that are glass,
Mm.
right?
We
Uh,
like using those things.
well, here's the thing. What would you use this for? I mean, I'll use these for like little shots, like portable shot glasses I can
Yeah, that
drink and
too.
toss. I mean, I guess
So many ideas.
you might need Diddy to help with that, though. Anyway,
What? You went way too far.
oh, I went way too far. What were
I was
you thinking
thinking
of?
green.
Oh, okay, fair. Okay, I wasn't even thinking that. I was.
Beads,
I got it.
crafting beads.
The devil's lettuce. I got you. Okay, I got you. Understood. Understood. I mean, that's a good idea too. I guess it is smell proof and sealed. Well, I don't know. I look. We're talking about OnlyFans, and you're telling me I went too far with that. Yet I'm pretty sure you just got buzzed twice. Okay, so don't tell me I took it too far. Oh God. Um, which by the way, go check out the blooper reel, which drops tomorrow. You could see the part that we took out of this where she did get buzzed for a good 5 seconds. But anyway, and it's not what you think, you dirty bastards. So don't go and watch it and think that you're gonna go see some inappropriate shit. You're just gonna see her turn all beet red like it is right there.
That hasn't
And
gone away.
it hasn't gotten away yet. It's called flush for a reason. But anyway.
I can't hide
No,
it.
but yeah, so like, and that's the different. Like, I went that route with like trying to cross promote by getting like the TikTok stuff, and obviously, well, I mean, look at me with 9/16 of an inch. Ain't nobody gonna pay me for OnlyFans. I think I started it up once, for a beard
Hey,
wash.
that might be a fetish.
No, 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 no. Listen, I'm not. Please, I'm dead. My pecker is not going online. But what I will say is this: I did have one at one point to wash my beard. And the company that I was working for at the time, they added to their social media clause, if you had this website, you could be let go. So I got rid of it. But I made a good $5,000 within not even 2 weeks of the same
Nice.
video of me washing my beard and just changing the name. So it'd be like, "Oh yeah, lured by attraction. Oh, do you like that?" That was it. That was the whole video. It was the
Hey,
whole fucking video.
hey,
Um,
capitalize it.
Listen, I'll tell you what though, I had more gay men than I had women.
Yeah,
So that just
it's
tells you something.
you just gotta be okay with it.
I didn't see them, so I didn't care. They what?
Exactly.
Oh, Robert,
Mhm,
like whatever, fine. I
mhm.
could say a name and wash my beard. It wasn't like I was yanking my crank, you know
Roberta.
what I mean? Un Roberto. Oh, ay,
Oh,
papi, Roberto. Anyway, so but okay, so then we get all these other platforms started. We start moving down this road. The money starts coming in,
I start
and
taking bourgeois photos.
right, I remember you were saying that, and you were doing Christmas cards with them at one point.
Oh yeah, all
Uh,
kinds of promotional stuff. I gave someone one of my or didn't give. He purchased one of my albums for almost $200.
oh Jesus, okay. Are we doing like, are you selling flip flops too? Like people buying bath water and shit? Like
I
what?
mean, if they want certain things that I wear, maybe.
Okay, fair. I mean, okay. Well, you know what? There's a niche for everybody. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know what I would do with someone's underwear, but I mean, I know
I
what
didn't say
people
that.
will do. I said it. I
I
fucking
did.
said it.
I have sold one,
You sold
and I
one pair of
rocked it with
underwear.
care. Yeah, it was a while back.
You know
I
what
don't.
the
I don't promote that shit a lot. Like, but if people ask for, it, I'm like, yeah, hey, it's this much, and then it just
well,
kind of
I
goes
kind of I
dead.
kind of feel like that's your platform though, right? Like if that you're
I do whatever.
satisfying that need
I'm a people
for
pleaser.
intimate. We're not going to go. We'll save that for next episode. Um, we'll save that for the next one. But for like now, um, you're basically providing them that like girlfriend experience. That like, hey, here's your naughty fantasies.
Bad
Here's the shit
girlfriend.
that you want. No, but you know what I mean. Like your
I'm
things that
real
they're not
though.
right, but you're not going to go out there right to a bar and go up to some woman and be like, "Listen, I want to smell your underwear." That's not going to get you anywhere. But you could do that on OnlyFans.
For
You could
50
say,
bucks, Mary.
"I want to buy it," So like, I get that. I mean, I understand that. So, um, I guess the more the business aspect, because we've talked a lot about the social aspect of it, but the business aspect of it is you're really creating this like social media like networking across several platforms, which can be utilized and copied over for whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, or whatever the fuck
Hmm.
it's called, X now.
Any of
Um,
it.
but you could just exchange Clapper for TikTok and
Yeah.
favorite it for that. So I mean, at the end of the day, is there a point where you feel like you're going to migrate from this? I know we talked a little bit about what you're trying to do so that you're not on camera as much, and and you're only doing like limited. But is there a way where you're going to completely step out of this? Like, is this something that you see yourself doing? I mean, you're going to be a grandma doing this, you think? Or at some point, you're going to step away from the adult side of it and move more back towards the streaming side of it? Because, like, you have the following and they'll follow you. So, you may be able to replace OnlyFans with Twitch and stream video games while you're dressed as characters.
I,
It's not what you think. It's Twitch is a streaming for video games, not what you think. It's not Kick.
oh, I don't
Um,
know. I don't know. Half of these apps that you're talking about, I have a full-time job, career,
Same.
mom, everything. So I
Well,
don't
I'm
know if
not a
they're.
mom.
I don't.
I don't have
I
the
don't know
mechanics
how
for
much
that.
more navigating I'm going to be doing because I've
Well,
obviously my career is really important to me, and
right, but if
I
this
feel
takes
like there's
off,
just. Oh yeah, no, I think it's just more equitable ways to do it and not so time consuming because right now I mean I could stream it for hours just because I'm having fun, but it's not, equitable, profitable. I like I said, OnlyFans is where you can get people to, continue to pay a certain amount or, go to pay content, but I think for me it's just really understanding what's the best ways to utilize my time because I'm not
well, your
gonna
time
be
is
a
valuable,
streaming
is
much.
what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So I
I
guess
was
that,
exhausted. Like I couldn't tell you the last time I was on live because I started a new job and all this stuff. But
well, so then
not trying to
eventually there.
downplay it, but
No, 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 no. I'm not. No,
sorry.
no, no. I'm not. No, no. But what I'm saying is that there's life after this, and you've thought
Oh
about
yeah.
life after this. So this is more just a stepping stone. But what if you are able to turn this into a streaming like
Oh yeah.
platform where
No.
it's not
Hmm.
just the adult side, but it's more, you go into your, because I
Hmm.
mean, you have other businesses. I know this. I know
Yeah.
this about you.
I have
Most
people
people don't.
asking me about promoting their companies and stuff. So we've been doing a lot of networking, but more on a personal level with people, and I think they're finding me on on the social media aspects and they're like, "Oh, so you can help me do this." And I'm like, "I can totally help you do that." Like I do this all day long. Like this is not for just me, but for other organizations, my other company, my business. Like I do this for 5 different accounts right now, like
Right.
yeah, for the
Well,
right
and that,
amount.
but that's the
And
thing though. So what about making that as like a social media manager as a job for yourself at some
shit, I'd
point?
like to record. I'd like to like that's what I was telling one of the
Oh,
guys who owns a club. He's like, "How can I, which one do you want to go to?" He was like, "There's one in Vegas. There's one, here locally." I was like, "Well, if you want to take me, on a trip, that's great. I'll record anything and promote it, but it's just having the opportunity to do it is all I need."
true. I get
But
it.
I can show. I mean, that's the thing, like, everyday people don't understand how easy it is. I mean, it just doesn't come naturally to people. So for me, it's like I can do this while I'm sleeping and I have so much fun doing it. It's like,
Well, and that's like me with TikTok and favorited and stuff like that. Like I can go on there for hours and people are like, "Aren't you tired?" No, I'm having fun. I'm interacting with people. I'm
yeah.
talking. Now, granted,
It's
I'm also not, I'm fully clothed. I am drinking bourbon. I'm listening to music. You know what I
the
mean? I'm
same
battling.
thing. I'm
No, but
not
it's
naked most
streaming.
of the
No, no,
time.
no, no, no. Stop, stop, stop. That's not where I was going with that. What I'm saying is that like I'm streaming a
People
different
like
side.
my dances. They just like me
I
dancing.
I'm not sa I wasn't knocking what you were doing. Don't take it defensively.
Oh,
I'm
I
saying,
am.
I'm comparing what I stream and what you stream are different. I'm sitting
Yeah,
down and
you have to warn
promoting,
me every time,
huh?
but I also get kicked off every time.
You do when you come and join the live, so it is fun though. It is fun. We always get a restriction. This live is now uncomfortable for people, and I'm
I
like,
knew it.
she's not even doing anything, and she's like, "I'll leave, bye." But no, but like that's the
I feel
the
bad.
thing. I don't care. But like the platforms that I'm doing, I'm trying to push the mental health. I'm trying to push all
Yeah.
of the, these like it's okay not to be okay. So like
Yeah.
I'm
I
cross
need to start
streaming.
doing that somehow. I do, and that's what I'm trying to. I think navigating how to cross over from the real world too. You know, like I want people to not maybe not like my career professional people, but like the middle ground where I'm like meeting people, socializing on, you know, and stuff in a different way. But
Well,
it's
and
for me, it's just like I don't know. You have to be careful, obviously, with what I do, but
well, I
like try,
agree with that. I agree with that 100%. But again, the flip side of that is that you have the basis now to cross promote
yeah,
like a mental health thing or
yeah,
a domestic violence situation or advocate for getting out of whatever. You know what I mean? So
DEI.
like yeah, yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like you're building a platform regardless of what your content is.
Hmm.
That platform's there, which you could do. I mean, hell, you could do sex education. You could sit there and talk about the
I don't know if
dangers
I
of
like it.
STD. No, but I'm saying like, today we're going to talk about chlamydia and this is blah,
Yeah,
blah, 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 blah,
yeah.
blah, like, and people would watch it. I mean, there was that, I'll never forget, there was a movie, I think it was called The Girl Next Door.
Mm,
And she was in the adult film industry and she goes back to high school. Right. And she moves in next to this high school kid and she's dating him. And at the end of it, they create a sex ed video that goes viral because no one ever updated the sex ed video, right? So this sex ed video was antiquated, and now they have these hot girls throwing a condom on a banana to show them how to put on a condom, where the old sex video was don't have sex, like it
yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, you could do something of that nature, or you could promote like, hey, although this is great, some people get addicted to certain things and whatnot. So I mean, there are avenues to use it for
Hmm.
other outcomes, but it's pretty cool. I can't wait until we get into next week. um the current, like what you're doing, like the life
What I,
after, what you're planning, what's your next steps, what's the next moves, the hustle and the bustle, because I know you have a bunch of side jobs. I know you have a bunch of side websites and the
shit.
resale stuff.
We've
And
got some plans made to go to Broken Bow. I'm trying to get some girlfriends and some other people to hang out with us, adult people. I'm like, I'm gonna show them how to do this. So that's gonna be a cool episode.
adult symposium. Okay, cool. Let's get into this. Let's do this. So, well, yeah. Well,
We were trying to book a weekend, but we're literally like everything's popping up too quickly. But
fair
we'll
enough.
stay tuned.
Well, if you need a place to host, I know a great places down here in Pittsburgh. Just saying.
But yes,
Um, well, it's up in Pittsburgh, but whatever. Yeah. But
Texas.
anyway, hey, I even know a couple of good videographers and photographers. Just saying. So if you're interested, we could talk about that at some point. Um, but with that being said, I think we're going to wrap up today. So please make sure, guys, that if you are listening, what ladies as well, it's not just guys, I mean plural. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out the links that are in the bio. Make sure that if you want to support the podcast, you know where to go for that. Definitely subscribe to see part 3. Her links are going down below on the screen throughout the whole video, so make sure that you look at it. And it's Lure by Attraction. Are you sticking your tongue out and bouncing? Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna
I'm
end
still
this.
teasing a little bit.
We're gonna end this for right now. But till next time, guys. Remember, you're amazing, and tomorrow's a better day with you in it. We'll catch you next time.
Thank you.
Carl, end the show. Stop staring at her bouncing, Carl. God damn.